All right. Hey, McKenna. Really sorry to see you get voted out this past episode of Survivor Kingston. Um, Obviously, it's been some time since you filmed the episode, but just tell me how you feel like it's like watch it all back um, on a big screen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I tried to forget some of the stuff that happened. Like I felt like I ran my mouth like it was my job. So I'm glad they didn't get some of that on camera. It was just a good time. Watching it back, I'm like there are definitely things I would have done different, but some I wouldn't have done different. It's hard to know in the moment what to do. So looking back, I'm like, oh, I should have played it this way, or I should have said this because that might have saved me, or whatever. But yeah, I really just went out there to have a good time and be entertaining, and I wanted to make it far. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it with Chris last week how you felt like it felt like you were at least willing to say it, like the things you need to say and like get out there and play the game the first week. So I was super excited to see you try to like run around, make more moves. So I
Yeah.
definitely a bummer. Tell me about like the early situation in the Coyote tribe, the Red tribe, where it looked like from the edit it looked like you brought like that group of you, Ashley, Robin together. Like was that the truth? Was it more collective? Like talking through like the initial vibes at Coyote tribe.
Yeah. So initial vibes, me and Ashley like kind of got in an alliance quickly. And Robin was just kind of down for down for whatever. I think maybe Butts in the episode says hopefully she can be easily persuaded, and she was our way. I mean, it didn't really take a lot of persuading. We're like, Robin, we're gonna vote him out. She was like, cool. So we liked everybody was great, liked everybody. My kind of like I watched Survivor for a few years. I watched a good bit of the seasons. So how I kind of my take on Survivor is I think challenges are so much luck. Like and I'm not a big physical threat. So that's kind of where my mindset was going into it. But the tribe was great, and unfortunately we just didn't end up on the right foot. And so that kind of sped my strategy along. So
Yeah, you definitely have to play if you're going to like three tribals. You went to the most tribals out of anybody so far. So obviously couldn't survive all three. But yeah, I'd love to know more about like I agree that the immunities are tough. Tell me about. Did you know what the advantage would look like for the puzzle with like the pig roast and then the puzzle afterwards? And did that inform who you put where?
yeah, so I knew that it was like first not place, but the person who holds on the longest gets like a time advantage, and then the second, and then the third. And I think it was maybe 10 seconds between the first and the third. And I was like, okay, that wasn't that big of a difference for me. I was like, I think puzzles are a lot of luck too. So I was like, surely that 10 seconds won't make a huge difference. I mean, I guess it did. We didn't pull out on it. So looking back on that challenge, I mean, I'm like maybe I could have been on the pole. That sounds bad. I could have been on the pig roast, but I'm like I'm 6 foot, so I don't know. I don't know. I think we just did the best we could. Yeah, if Butts was there, it
Gotcha.
probably would have turned out better. But then, you don't know if you'll pull out on the puzzle. So, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
was there much debate about who was going to do the puzzle? Because for me, it felt like it all came down to just like if we just throw the pig roast and just have a good puzzler down 10 seconds,
pretty much.
could that win the day?
No, I don't even think we thought about who the best puzzler was. That was kind of my take on. Yeah, I don't care if we're a little behind, but now that you say it, it makes sense. Like maybe if we put somebody else, because if we're going to drop anyways, does it really matter? But who did the puzzle in the first? Me and Ashley, I guess. So I don't know. I don't think we had anybody that was just like really good at puzzles. Like I feel like Elaine is like very good at puzzles. Um, so
Gotcha. Yeah,
yeah,
Luke did say, or Jeff said, like you guys are the athletic tribe. Like it was maybe you guys were lacking a puzzler or something. I don't know.
I don't know why he said that either because I'm like, us. I mean, I guess we're pretty athletic.
Kicking you while you're down at tribal.
Yeah, yeah. He said somebody has to be the worst team.
Yeah, that was harsh. That's harsh stuff. So tell me about that one though. You had the women's alliance, then you turned on Robin there to keep Bear in. what
Yeah.
was the decision making process? I mean, mostly you and Ashley being that type two, making that decision. How'd you go about deciding between the two of them?
I guess Bear came to Ashley and I separately and was like, please keep us. And I think he told me, I want to have an alliance with you. And then, like, I'm sure he said the same thing to Ashley, but he said he wants to have an
Mm.
alliance with me. And then I was like, well, it wouldn't be bad to have, another alliance. And I thought maybe further on down the line, like, if we kept Robin in, like if I kept that alliance with Bear and Ashley, I would have two people on my side. And if I kept Robin in, I thought maybe she would have been voted out like shortly after. So I think that's where Ashley and I were at, because Ashley and I came together and said, I think we should keep Bear. Because at this point, I was thinking playing my game, if this is kind of backtracking, if we um, vote Robin out first and it's Steven, Butts, Bear, me, and Ashley, and we lose another challenge, I'm gone. That was my mindset. So for the
Right.
first vote off, the second vote off, yeah, I think Bear just did a good job of selling himself, and we were like, okay. And I thought maybe we were close to the merge, so challenges as a team wouldn't really matter as much. So he did good selling himself.
Yeah, obviously that tribe then gets blown up with the swap.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like you put yourself in a pretty good spot where you were maybe in the middle or towards the top of like the initial that three there. Um, when you got to the swap, um, you were talking about a lot of the connections you had on the other tribe, instead of like trying to like I don't know throw that out the window and be loyal. Like what was your decision point there between like talking up all the connections you do have versus being like forget about the old red folks on Coyote. This is my new tribe.
yeah. Well, I was looking back on it now. I don't think I should have taken that approach, being like, I have all these alliances, because I was talking about Ashley and Bear, but I said Tom would have said he would have an alliance with me, but we didn't talk about that. I just kind of lied, and I
I love
thought,
that. That's hilarious. That's awesome.
yeah, and I thought he might, and I was like, maybe Evie would too. Like I said all these things, and then now I mean, looking back on it now, I'm like, maybe I should not have been like, yeah, I've got all these people, blah blah blah, even if it wasn't a lie. Um, so that was my thought thought process, and now like seeing the little blurb for the next episode, the division, like them wanting to get Clark and
Yeah.
Gabe, like I should have went after Clark and Gabe and tried to get them to form with me. So
Yeah. So you ended up writing down. What was it? You wrote Bones down at the
yeah.
tribal, right? You were the only vote there. So did you talk to anybody else about like let's get Bones versus the tease like maybe they're gonna go up to Clark and Gabe and try to split up the original emu. What,
I
what were you pitching? Because you talked about like I have all these lines. What was your pitch like? We got to get this person out. Like let's get
I
Bones
think
out.
I was like, I just put Bones down because I hate the Yellow Tribe, so I was like, I'll just put Bones. I was just putting somebody because I knew I was going home. I think
Oh,
I
that's why the yellow is in parentheses now. Okay,
Yellow,
because you're voting yellow out. Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I think I pitched like I've got I've got all these alliances, and if you keep me, I will like turn on my alliances. That's just what I was telling them. Like, would I have done that? We'll never know. Um, so like we can kind of like play the game, me going back and forth, which I guess would make me look bad, depending on how you like to see the game played. But it didn't work out. So I was just like, yeah, I've got all these people that I think I could pull, or we could go one way, and then they're like, no. So
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like a lot of people like when they see people playing to win. Some
mm,
people, they maybe get out the first, second episode, but they're at least going after it. So
I was
it seems
trying.
like everyone. It looks like everyone there was going after it. Yeah,
Yeah,
seems like a really like cutthroat and like, but also like positive. Like the vibes are good, but everyone's got like gaming, so that was good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
that's
just tried
sweet.
to have a good attitude.
Yeah, it is interesting at the end of the day, but yeah, definitely intense. You
Hmm.
the only other thing I was curious about for the second mini challenge, obviously you talked about the last tribal being like vote for Bones and just trying to get something out there, but when it came down to like being on the puzzle, again, was that like a decision you made where you said actually put me back on the puzzle, I can get it done? Did you feel like that would maybe impact how like the blame would be assigned if you didn't win?
The one with Elaine that I did the puzzle.
Yes.
Okay.
The second one. Sorry. So many things in this episode don't
I
count.
know, I know. I think oh, the first was running to something. I think I'm like I hate running, and like we had a lot of athletes on it. Like I literally hate running, which is funny because I ran the first challenge. And I was like, I whatever, it's fine. But I just made sense. Like the running, don't really want to do that. Um, Mandy was small, crawling under. I'm like, I'm very tall. I'm 6 foot. I don't, and then like picking me up probably wasn't going to be like a good fit for me to go up, like, for them to pick me up. I don't know. I just think that's kind of where they put me in Elaine, which Elaine definitely should be on a puzzle. She's great. Um, I don't know. It's just where I ended up, and I was like, okay. And I was I knew I was like on the chopping block. I was like, I'll do whatever.
Yeah, it looked like a really tricky one.
Yeah.
My brain was kind of hurting just looking at like the shots of it getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go to the tribal. Definitely some good clips in there. Yeah, we're working on spelling McKenna correctly, so appreciate appreciate those who did it right. At least when they voted you out, had the courtesy to be like, "How do you spell your name?" No reason.
I know. I think.
But
I
yeah,
think I said something before. Like I think Luke cut it out. I said something before we all voted, and I was like, I think I said something like, "If you're gonna vote me out, at least spell my name right," or like, "If you need to know how to
oh
spell,
man,
just ask me." And Luke cut it. Um, but that's why I was like, yeah, y'all
darn,
just
got it. So we need the McKenna edit on that tribal. Got it.
yeah, yeah, yep.
Good to know. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah. Anything else from the game, or what's going on post Survivor? Obviously, it's been a while, but yeah, what are you up to?
Yeah, it's been a while. I like how when it was a blast. I want to do it again, like super bad. But I'm like,
Nice.
I hope people still want to work with me because I just, you know, gameplay can be different every time you play if you want. I like how Luke said yoga instructor was my job, which I do teach yoga, but I also work at Y12, so which is a nuclear like plant here. So it's just funny. I saw that and I was like, I don't even teach yoga anymore, but that's funny because I did at the time. Um, what else? Oneida was like such a great location. I liked having 3 tribes, and I hope he does it again. And I want to help out. Um, yeah, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
there's a lot of season one alumni in the credits there, so I think that's part of the shtick is
Yeah,
when you play, you help out a little bit. Maybe you play in the returner season.
yeah.
Gotta put in your dues.
Oh yeah, and I stayed
Awesome.
in Oneida the whole weekend, so I got to see it all play out. And I've like forgotten, like I forget who gets voted out when and whatnot. So it's a good season. So I think everybody will enjoy it. Not as good as they would if I was still on it, but it'll
Right.
still, of course, it'll still be entertaining.
Well, great endorsement to watch the rest of the Survivor Kingston episodes that come out. Thanks again, McKenna, for making
Yeah,
time.
thank you.